and welcome in to Getting Help from Uncle Sam. And last week we had General Andrea Tullos, President, Commander of Air University at Maxwell, and we talked a bit about Air University and the community, and we're going to talk a little bit more about that because we're all a part of this.
And so for the airmen, some of them, and this is okay, they've volunteered to serve in our force, and we want to be able to sustain an all-volunteer force. But some might choose to only do one tour of duty. They might come in for 4 or 6 years, and they might already know, I either want to go back to my hometown or I want to take what the Air Force has given me and go back to a community and make it better. And so to get to your point, every airman that comes here, that's an opportunity to show them that, hey, Montgomery could be home. It could be your forever home. Alabama could be your forever home state. And it happens. Like, people get here and they fall in love with the river region and they say, hey, this is where I want to be forever. I will also say that as compared to many other places where we have Air Force installations in the country, the cost of living is reasonable.
Absolutely, absolutely.
It's affordable for even our junior personnel who think to themselves, I might be at the point in my life where I want to purchase a home. So part of that $2.2 billion of impact to the river region and to Alabama is purchasing homes, renting homes, and starting careers, whether it's a small business and they want to be a small veteran-owned business, or really just taking a job. More than when I came in, our airmen come with families. The paradigm has almost swung almost fully. So 70% of airmen who came in when I came in were single. And that number is a little bit reversed. 70% now come sometimes with dependents.
Right.
And so that could be a child. More and more we see adults. They have grandparents or parents who are aging and who they're responsible for caring for. And tragically, even some of them come with siblings who they have guardianship over. And so they're bringing a family unit to our community here that looks very different than the family unit that came back in the early 90s when I came in. And so the most I can ask is, Alabama is an incredibly welcoming place. Be welcoming to our airmen. They can be intimidated by a new place. The accent alone, the English. We all speak English. I grew up in New Jersey. It was a very different English, a different clip, and so they want to fit in and they want to feel welcomed. And so sometimes just opening the door and welcoming them in will start them on a whole new journey. Their spouses oftentimes, again more often than not, need employment. There are very few families who can afford to live on one income these days.
Very true.
And childcare costs are one of our greatest challenges for young airmen. It's extraordinarily expensive. And so for those who have to find childcare out on the economy, it can be a challenge. And so Alabama is a place where it is still quite reasonable. But that's something that we want to make accessible. And so knowing how to find those places that have vacancies, like that they have room to bring our kids in, is really important. And I will tell you, if airmen are not able to feel like their family is taken care of, they're not focused on the mission. So if you go to work and you're worried about the fact that you might have to run and leave and pick up your child, or you don't have some place that you feel safe delivering them, it's hard. And so this has been a great place, and that's a challenge nationally. And it goes to the schools and our healthcare, right? Our school systems and our healthcare are right after childcare on things that bring stressors into our families.
Well, it's no different than those of us who are not in uniform. I mean, we're all looking at the same things, regardless of our age. We really are. And I think that as we sit, you always have communities in fear of losing a base. Well, a lot of times there are things that you should have been doing all along that maybe your community wasn't doing. We don't ever want the river region to be like that. What we want to do is everything that we can do to make you comfortable here and a part of everything that creates a better world for all of us.
I can't say enough about communicating. Our airmen are digital airmen. They are very active on whether it's social media or just the internet. It's how they get their information. And when people move here, sometimes it's on short notice, but sometimes they have a good 6 months of notice that they're coming, and they're going to be out looking at
Right.
what is life like in Montgomery? What do the school systems have to offer for children my age? When can I sign up? If there's a lottery, when can we put our name in? What is the process? Just having those things current. Who can I call? You know, some people want a human being. At some point, they don't just want a chat bot.
Right.
They want to
That's
really
right.
reach out and understand, hey, is the information I'm reading accurate? Is this right? And so we have a school liaison who helps them do that. But again, they want to search on their own, you know, and they're out there looking at what the community has to offer. And then, so, you know, the chambers are hugely important because that tells them what businesses are available. How do they apply for jobs? Like, what is it like getting a job here? Do they accept transferred credentials? I mean, that process can be intimidating. And so the sooner that our family members can get to know Montgomery, and that means before they've ever been here. Like, I think the power of the internet and the accessibility of information, I think that can relieve a lot of stress. And so, you know, if your businesses have websites and social media pages, or they have the ability to actually communicate with our families in advance, it's hugely important.
And thank you, General Tullos, for being with us, and we'll be right back.